softball.
Yeah, Big League Dreams ballpark is a very unique ballpark. For example, we have fields here that are mocking actual ballparks.
So stepping in for Cal State Fullerton is Neal. Alexa Neal is going to be taking over and playing second base for Cal State Fullerton. Mariah Lopez is on the mound for Oklahoma. And we're underway. 1-2 count to Neal. Lopez stepping into the circle. Has got a .27 ERA. She started 4 games for the Sooners. The Sooners so far 2-1 in this Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. High for a ball.
Yeah, Lopez is someone that we have not seen too much of yet. G. Warritz has been in the circle a lot for Oklahoma over the course of this Classic, who's done an absolutely great job in their very first game against BYU, whereas almost had a no-hitter. So I'm excited to see how Lopez now can step up and show her team what she's capable of doing.
And that'll be the first batter of the game. Alexa Neal strikes out, and we're underway. So that'll bring up Ari Williams, the senior, who's batting .447. Fullerton we saw yesterday. They're facing number 4 Oklahoma today. They took on number 5 Washington, and they gave them all they can handle. They ended up losing very late. Run was pushed across in the 6th inning by Washington, and Fullerton fell by a run. So Williams takes a ball high. We're just getting started in the top of the first inning. Mariah Lopez, 5-1 on the season. Opponents are only batting .99 against her. So Fullerton has their work cut off.
If there's anyone from Fullerton that can be able to get a crack off of her, I think it's going to be Ari Williams. She was All Big West first team last season, and also in 2017 All Big West Conference second team. So she's been someone that's been continuously climbing up in the depth charts and making herself a valuable player.
Hard hit ball into left field. A view is under it, makes the catch, and we got 2 down. So a view we saw against UCLA. You talk about a good left fielder. She took away a home run from Aaliyah Jordan, and then in the bottom of the first, hit a home run herself. Stepping in for Cal State Fullerton will be Hill, the sophomore. Batting .256 thus far.
Carlsbad native, and that's kind of one of the storylines this tournament, is just how many California natives are here playing in this tournament after they've been recruited to play at some of the top teams in the nation across the country, which makes this, you know, this Classic so unique because so many families and friends get to come and travel to the desert to cheer on their family members, friends.
Pop up to the second baseman. This should do it. Clifton comes down with it, and a 1-2-3 inning for Lopez. Heading to the bottom of the first inning, we've got no score.
So again, with tournaments like this in the beginning of the season, it's so great to see players that are younger on the roster getting an opportunity to showcase what they're going to be capable to do this upcoming regular season.
Clifton will lead off for Oklahoma. She'll be followed by Romero, Aviu, Green, Knighton, Mendez, Allo, Elam, and Lyons. Dawkins, first pitch of the game, off-speed pitch for a strike, 0-1. Around the diamond for Fullerton, Valenzuela is an excellent defensive catcher. She'll be behind the plate. Munoz at first, Neal at second, Kennedy at short, Hill at third. That's a little bit low for a ball. Ciofele is in left field, Williams in center, and Sablon is over in right.
Dawkins in the circle made 18 appearances last season with 12 starts, finished with a 7-4 record.
Another off-speed pitch effective for Dawkins, so 1-2 to Clifton, one of the leaders for Oklahoma, batting .382. But what I like to see with a leadoff hitter is the on-base percentage, and she's up to .543. And she's batting in the leadoff role, .714. Ball up the middle. Dawkins knocks it down, throws over to first, and we've got one down. So that'll go 1-3 if you're scoring at home, and it'll bring up Romero.
And here's a look at that knock again. Dawkins alert in the circle, able to throw it over to first base in time.
I remember when I was learning playing baseball, and I translated it to when I played softball. As I was older, you're always trying to hit the ball just straight up the middle. And in the batting cages, you're hitting the ball straight up the middle. It means you're hitting the ball well and you're seeing the ball well. And unfortunately for Clifton, Dawkins made an excellent play. And we got one down. Now Romero's been hot in the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. Had a home run yesterday. She's batting .395 coming into today. But I mentioned that power. She's got a .721 slugging percentage. That's a strike. That'll even the count 1-1.
And you brought up, Wes, where you like to hit the ball. One thing that I've noticed with Oklahoma, especially with Romero, she really likes finding the sweet spot up the 5-6 zone into left field. That seems to be working for her. I would not be surprised if that's where she tends to go today.
She goes the other way on that one. That's going to be a tough play for the right fielder. Cannot make it. Bangs against the wall. That's Sablon over there. Excellent effort by the right fielder for Fullerton, but just goes foul over the fence, and a young fan gets herself a souvenir down the line. I know they request that you bring all softballs back, but I've noticed there's a lot of young fans that are using those to get autographs, and hard to blame them. Reaches for it and hits it foul again. And it looks like, going back to your point, as a pull hitter, Romero has displayed a lot of power, and I think Dawkins got the scouting report, and Valenzuela has her working the outside corner, trying to force Romero to go the other way. Dawkins into her wind, and the pitch off speed outside again.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what Dawkins is trying to do, with Romero having so much success, always being able to go and find the left field. Now she's forcing her to go right, and so far putting up a good challenge for Romero.
Dawkins set, and the pitch. That's hit to the left side, right to the shortstop Kennedy. She'll come down with it, and we have two down. So she finally found a ball inside, but unable to barrel it up. And that will bring up the number 3 hitter of View, which I mentioned before. Took away a home run in the UCLA game, and the bottom half of the inning hit one herself. On the season, she only has that 1 home run, but she does have 3 doubles, so a lot of power in her bat. That's a strike, 0-1. So a View, what I like about how she comes to bat, the left-hander doesn't have her hands together, a little bit separated, which I think is really interesting. You don't see that as much. High for a ball, 1-1. So we've got no score, 2 outs in this bottom of the first inning. Dawkins into her wind, and the pitch. Very effective off-speed pitch, just misses the outside corner. So 2-1.
You can tell it's still a little chilly out here, with Dawkins blowing on her hands, trying to keep herself warm and loose.
Good experience for the sophomore, facing the number 4 team in the nation. Hard hit ball down the line, just foul. So View trying to pull that ball into the corner. She got it just past Munoz, but it went.
Yeah, take another look at it, just barely missing it, keeping it in play for a fair ball.
So missed by about a foot or 2, but it goes down in the scorebook as a strike. Dawkins into her wind, the pitch inside, pulls it again down that right field line. So it looks like Munoz and Sablon are going to be awfully busy over there on the right side. So 2-2 is the count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. The sophomore Taylor Dawkins looking good so far against a very good team. She winds and delivers. Ball hit into the left center field gap. That'll fall. A View is going to try and reach second, and she does. At first I thought there was a little hesitation as she rounded first, but then she took off and made it into second. And Oklahoma has their first base runner on second base in scoring position with 2 down in the first.
Yeah, Dawkins seemed to let up a little bit on that pitch there. Oklahoma took advantage, able to get a great crack on it. And as she's running, like you said, there was a little bit of hesitation, but once she saw the pace of the ball dropping in the outfield, she realized she had time, and she definitely had plenty of it to get to second base. And now Oklahoma is in business in scoring position.
So Grace Green steps in. The freshman takes a strike, 0-1. You know, she's second on the team on on-base percentage with .512. She's drawn 8 walks, which is also second on the team. So very disciplined hitter at the plate right now with a runner in scoring position.
And huge to see from a freshman utility player coming into such a storied program and breaking into the lineup so quick and having such success.
So we got a View at second base. Dawkins into her wind, and the pitch. Ball hit to the second baseman. This should do it. Neal over to first to Munoz. And Dawkins is able to get out of the inning. Oklahoma will leave a runner on second in scoring position, but after an inning, no score. Mariah Lopez will take the circle again. 1-2-3 inning in the top of the first inning. Coming up for Cal State Fullerton is Janelle Rodriguez. As a leadoff hitter, she is batting .714. So trying to get the Titan offense going. She takes a strike, 0-1. She has a very good eye. She's got a .424 on base percentage, mostly because she's had 7 walks. Takes low for a ball.
And it always helps with a free trip to first base.
Doesn't matter how you get on. The point
as long
is
as you
that
get on.
Exactly.
And a lot of it comes from being a smart batter, you know, to be able to get walked. You know, it doesn't just happen from a pitcher making errors.
High on the rise ball.
Comes from being smart in the box.
Exactly. Very disciplined, and see that from a lot of these Division I softball players. They put in a lot of time, so they know the zone. Lopez did a good job in the first inning, changing speed. Rise ball again. So 3-1 to the leadoff hitter, and we mentioned again that as a leadoff hitter, Janelle Rodriguez is batting .714. Young lineup for the Fullerton Titans. They only have 3 upperclassmen in that lineup. There's a strike to bring the count full. Nobody out here in the second inning.
Actually, on their roster, they only have 2 seniors.
So there's the timing mechanism. Holding the bat out to bunt. Check swing, and they're going to say no swing. And the first batter is aboard. That's the 8th walk on the season for Rodriguez. And that'll bring up Cioffelli, who's a junior, one of those upperclassmen. Yeah, she did hold up. Good camera work by our excellent team at Flow Softball. Cioffelli comes in, batting .200. She squares the bunt, pops it up, but it ends up being an effective bunt. I thought at first as it went up in the air, it's usually trouble on a bunt, but it was perfectly placed, and she moves the runner over, and we got 1 down.
Yeah, it looked like a close call after that bunt. Almost didn't go enough that it's going to roll back right towards her for her to get the tag out before she could even get to first. However, not the case, and she was able to use the bunt to her advantage and advance her teammate to scoring position.
That'll bring up the first baseman, Munoz. She's got a .375 on base percentage, so again, a very disciplined hitter. She takes a strike on the first pitch, 0-1. She's only a freshman, overall batting .250. She has 3 RBIs on the season, and it's a big opportunity for Fullerton. They're facing the number 4 team, and that would be important, jumping out to an early lead. Good block by Elam behind the plate. So 1-1 is your count with 1 out here in the top of the second inning.
It is great to see Fullerton's head coach Kelly Ford use so many young athletes in this tournament. Again, this is a time for these players to showcase what they can do.
Fouled back.
And what better team to do that up against than a ranked Oklahoma squad underneath the Hall of Fame head coach Patty Gasso.
So Oklahoma, their 2 losses are to the number 1 team in the nation and the number 2 team in the nation.
Yeah, Oklahoma came into this tournament with only 1 loss on the schedule, and they've had quite the campaign here. 2-1 so far.
Outside for a ball. That's a tough pitch to take. A little bit up on the outside corner. Good take by Munoz. There you see the Oklahoma staff. They've made the tournament every year since 1994. Just an excellent run for the Sooners.
Yeah, that's head coach Patty Gasso. She's really molded this program into a national powerhouse.
Strike 3 called with a runner on second. Huge strikeout for Lopez on the season. That's her 49th strikeout. Just gets the outside corner. Elam brought the ball back. Good job framing it for her. And Lopez is almost out of the jam. Runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs. Good rise ball, but high on the hitter Sablon, who's in right field. Busy defensively. Made an excellent effort on the foul ball that just went over the fence. Also a freshman. Had an excellent high school career. Takes high on the rise ball.
Now they'll have a meeting in the circle with Lopez. Lopez doing an okay job so far when it comes to not walking too many, but actually last season she finished the season tied for 2nd in OU history in walk rate.
And the pitch. Taken for a strike. So Sablon came from Long Beach Poly over there in Long Beach. Another very talented freshman on this Titan squad. Two and 1 is the count. Swing and a miss right there to even it. 2-2. So Fullerton has a rich tradition in softball. They were 1986 national champions. And they also have 28 NCAA tournament appearances. Swung on and miss on the rise ball, and that'll do it. So Lopez strikes out Sablon to end the threat. And we're going to head to the bottom of the second inning. No score in the game, and look at this rise ball. Just impossible to hit that one.
A high desert area, which is really unheard of.
So Knighton takes inside for a ball, 1-0. Dawkins looked good in the first inning against this very talented Oklahoma offense. Comes into the game with a 3.09 ERA. Good off-speed pitch, but just outside for a ball. Knighton comes from a talented family. Her father played at USC on that baseball team. The traditional power that is the USC Trojans. Dawkins, another off-speed pitch. That gets called for a strike. So I've noticed Dawkins has been changing speeds, but mostly she's gone to that off-speed changeup. We'll see if Oklahoma can time it.
And Dawkins will have to be careful of that, because just as we're noticing it, the team's going to notice it as well and start making adjustments.
There's a hard hit ball to the left center field gap. She got it. Home run, Knighton. And Oklahoma takes the early 1-0 lead. So take a look at this swing by Knighton. She had that timing down just like we said and crushed the ball over there into the bleachers in left center field.
And here's another look at it. As we were just talking about Dawkins and how she's been finding her niche in the circle, here goes Oklahoma going off and getting the home run.
So for the senior Knighton, Oklahoma's 5th place hitter, that's her 2nd home run on the year, 8th RBI. And Mendez will step in, the center fielder, looking to add to that 1-0 lead. She takes high for a ball. Mendez comes into the game batting .357. She has 4 RBIs herself, a .500 on-base percentage. Also quick on the base paths, does have a stolen base. She's got a slightly open stance. Hits the ball hard down the line, but foul. Munoz, as I said before, is getting a lot of action over there at first base. A lot of balls pulled towards her. So for Dawkins, it's only the first home run that she's given up this season. She has given up 2 doubles. Bunt attempt, pulls it back, takes it for a strike, 1-2.
And Dawkins has really one of the most aggressive windups in this tournament. If you watch her body when she throws, she completely bends over through the windup when she releases the ball. It's always unique to see every pitcher and their pitching style, and I think Dawkins has definitely one of the most unique.
Just a bit outside. She kind of looked down frustrated on that. I think the umpire earlier in the game gave a call to the Oklahoma pitcher, Lopez. Sunk a little bit inside corner, doesn't get the call again. So that'll make it a full count. And look at that. Bends over toward, she's exactly at a right angle, 90 degrees, and then comes set and launches that ball in there. Fouled back. So that'll make the count 3-2. So Knighton started off the inning homering to left center field, and Mendez trying to add to that 1-0 lead. Hits ball hard to Munoz. Munoz, who's been busy, taps the bag. You 3 if you're scoring at home. And we got 1 down in the bottom of the 2nd inning. All of the sophomores stepping in, batting .425 early on in the season. 2 doubles, 2 home runs. She's also got 7 RBIs for the sophomore. Off-speed pitch for a strike. So it looked like she went away from that off-speed pitch in the last sequence to Mendez, but starts off Alo with that same changeup.
But she's definitely going to be trying to use different things now, especially after getting a home run taken off of her.
A little bit low and outside. A couple of the Fullerton fans in the crowd did not agree with that call. And we have a lot of fans that are rolling in now. It's 9:30 local time. See a lot of fans wearing the red from Oklahoma. Hard hit line drive right to Hill, and we have 2 down. So Alo hit it about as hard as you can, but the sophomore lines out to Hill, and we got 2 down.
And here's another look, trying to go up the left field. Fullerton there. Right place, right time for the easy out.
So I've noticed some fielding adjustments, the placement of players, and it's worked out for a lot of the coaching staff. That ball is hit into no man's land. right behind the third baseman, out of reach of the shortstop Kennedy. Ciofele tried to come in and make a catch, but that was right down the line. Just a little pop-up, but it falls. And Elam has herself a single at first base as Oklahoma tries to get a 2-out rally going against Dawkins. You already see a little bit of activity out there in the Fullerton bullpen. Off-speed pitch for a strike. Grace Lyons stepping in, a freshman. You know, there's 2 freshmen in the lineup, and both of them are named Grace.
That's a fun fact for the day.
Stat of the day. Lyons batting .310 in the 9 spot. With 2 outs, she's batting .500. Hits the ball into right center field. That's going to drop. Elam's going to stay at second base. But Oklahoma has a 2-out rally going.
Great job by the freshman finding an open gap in the outfield. Oklahoma once again now in scoring position, making this a possible really big inning for them. Here's another look. Fullerton, almost 3 girls on that ball, and even a little trouble getting that ball over to second base. Lucky, it could have been worse.
All 3 of them hustling towards it, but landed in between the 3 of them. And Dawkins finds herself in a little bit of trouble. There's a runner in scoring position in the catcher, Elam. And coming up is the top of the order, Clifton. Another one of those off-speed pitches. That one's low. Clifton so far today, she's 0 for 1. Still batting .371. She hit a ball right back to Dawkins and was thrown out. Off speed again. So the catcher of Valenzuela is excellent defensively. She threw out a runner yesterday in the Washington game. Tried to frame that pitch and bring it up. Does not get the call. And again, the Fullerton fans that are behind the plate disagree. Hard hit ball by Clifton. That's going to get over the head of the center fielder, Williams. 1 run comes in. They're waving around the 2nd run. Lions will score as well, and the 2-out rally continues. Oklahoma takes a 3-0 lead.
Oklahoma really capitalizing through their lineup, showcasing how strong they are inside the box. And just a great knock. Let's take another look at it. Just straight out over the heads into the outfield, almost past the fence.
Very close to it. I would say it almost landed on the warning track. I mentioned in a broadcast yesterday, there's not a warning track here. The fences are in, so there's not that dirt warning track. But it's one of those habits where you say it's hit onto the warning track as it one-hops the wall. So if you hear me say that at home and you notice that there actually isn't a warning track, my apologies. Romero stepping in, and you saw her hit a big home run yesterday.
I did. Romero is one of those players for Oklahoma where their coach, Patty Gasso, can completely depend on. And we were talking about that yesterday because the game was going scoreless for quite some time. And then finally, a player stepped up, and we were wondering, who is that player going to be? And it seems like the continuing theme for Oklahoma is it's going to be Romero. She's a leader on this team. She carries confidence. She's able to make plays.
Pops that one up. Kennedy is under it. She'll make the catch, but Oklahoma adds 2 with a 2-out rally. Knighton led off with a home run, but they manufactured 2 more to take a commanding 3-0 lead over Cal State Fullerton. Kennedy takes outside for a ball, 1-0. Kennedy, of course, came down with that last pop-up in the previous inning. As a leadoff hitter, she's batting .200, facing one of the best pitchers she's seen thus far this year. Big swing and a miss. And Kennedy has some power. 2 home runs already on the season for Fullerton. And you look down the Fullerton lineup, a lot of players able to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Tie for a ball. You know, Williams has 3 home runs on the season. Ciofele, the same, 3 home runs to lead the team. There's a lot of excitement in the Fullerton dugout. A lot of cheers going on, a little bit of dancing.
And they need it. This is the time where they're really going to have to step it up now in the top of the third, down 3-0. And they're going to be coming out swinging, and that's exactly what Sam Kennedy here is trying to do.
Really good eye from Kennedy. 3-1 is your count. Nobody out in the top of the third inning.
And Kennedy, also a California native, out of Anaheim, just about a 2-hour drive away from here.
Fouled back on top of the restaurant. And I know I keep mentioning this. It's kind of, somebody said, well, it's kind of like counting the number of jelly beans that can fit in a car, but I'm kind of curious how many foul balls are up there on the roof in the restaurant right behind Wrigley Field.
Yesterday I saw someone up there with a pretty large stick going through the netting and all over the roof trying to gather up those balls.
Swung on and missed, so Kennedy goes down swinging. For Lopez, that's her 4th strikeout of the day, and we're only in the top of the third inning. Valenzuela, the talented catcher, is coming up, and you look at that one again, swing and a miss. So Kennedy just couldn't get the timing down because she looked like she swung at the right spot, but just was out in front. Valenzuela has struggled a little bit at the plate. She's got a 171 on base percentage early on in the season, so statistics can be misleading. Lopez indoor line in the pitch. Big swing and a miss right there by Valenzuela.
Valenzuela had a pretty good sophomore campaign. She earned NFCA All-Region 3rd team and All-Big West 2nd team and started all 60 games behind the plate last year.
She went to an excellent school in Bishop Amat. Athletic powerhouse. A little bit inside for a ball. 2-1 is your count to Valenzuela. One out here in the top of the third inning. Lopez has lowered her walks, hits, inning pitch, the whip, as I say, to 6.25. Popped up but foul. Over towards the playground. And if you haven't been to Big League Dreams here in Cathedral City, we encourage you to come out to one of these games. There's so much good competition, so many good teams, and there's a lot to do. There's batting cages, there's playgrounds, there's even an indoor soccer area. Fouled back towards us.
Yeah, there really is something for everyone here.
Also some beautiful views. It's kind of cool to see Yankee Stadium, Fenway Park, and Wrigley Field, but also you just look over the center field wall and you see a beautiful snow-capped mountain. Look at that.
Yeah, you're not going to find a more beautiful backdrop than that.
Swung on and missed, strike 3. So that's a 5th strikeout for Mariah Lopez.
Yeah, Lopez doing a great job working her way through the Fullerton lineup, changing it up, mixing up her paces.
I'll bring up the top of the lineup, Neal. Let's take a look at that pitch again. Rise ball, and Valenzuela cannot catch up to it. Neal batting .400, slaps at it. That's strike 1. 0-1 is the count. She struck out in the first inning. Does have that .467 on base percentage. Lopez looking at her wrist. He gets a sign, and the pitch. Another strike, so leadoff hitter Neal finds herself in a hole 0-2, having already struck out in the first inning. Lopez looking for her 6th strikeout of the day.
Alexa Neal, just a freshman, going up against Lopez.
Fouled off.
She comes from Ramona, California. I'm sure she has some family here to cheer her on and watching her make her collegiate debut against a lot of big teams. When I say collegiate debut, just one of her many starts that she's had so far probably this season.
Down in the dirt, good eye. So 1-2 is your count here with 2 outs in the top of the third. Oklahoma leading Fullerton 3-0. Fullerton thus far on the season is 9-4. Oklahoma, of course, 11-2, with the 2 losses being to the number 1 and number 2 teams in the nation.
Yeah, Oklahoma took a tough loss to UCLA earlier this week, lost 1-7. Yeah, and you can see the entire game on FloSoftball.com.
There's archived games of this Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. If you couldn't watch the games live, I know some people were working Thursday and Friday. Well, you can catch up this evening on some of those games. Check swing, did she go? No, she did not. So good job holding up on that rise ball. That rise ball has been very effective for Lopez. Again, already 5 strikeouts on the game. I believe that hasn't been updated because I have her down for 6. So we'll go back and check that later on. Lopez jiggling the ball around, gets her grip, and the pitch. Neal hits the ball to Knighton over there at first base. She'll take it herself. U3 on the scoring, and that'll do it for Fullerton.
She got injured in her first start in the circle, but made 19 appearances as a pinch hitter designated player.
She'll start off the batter, Aviu, with a strike, 0-1. Aviu, in the first inning, she doubled. She was left in scoring position. So 1 for 1 today, raising her average to 382. Takes just outside for a ball.
It's nice to see Rodriguez get back out there in the circle, especially after being robbed her freshman season with an injury. Also great, though, to showcase her strength, being able to come back and make at least a couple appearances as a pinch hitter and designated player.
Popped up to center field. The center fielder Williams is under it, and there's one down. Always nice to get the first out as a pitcher, kind of start off successfully.
Yeah, especially with a career like Rodriguez. And again, this is the time for her to be able to showcase. It's a new year for her, a new season, especially coming off of an injury. It's going to be important for her to start out very strong to work her way back in as one of Fullerton's go-tos in the circle.
Freshman Grace Green is going to step in. One of 2 Graces in the starting lineup, both of them freshmen. She's 0 for 1 today. Got an on-base percentage of exactly 500. Did she line up? Oh, she did not go around. So able to hold off on that rise ball. Such a tempting pitch to go after. She has that guard on her elbow. Surprised more girls do not wear that. Hits the ball to the third baseman. Hill across the diamond to Munoz, and we got 2 down.
Yeah, Rodriguez really working herself in the circle well, either causing pop-ups or grounders for them to get the easy outs.
That'll bring up Knighton, who had the last ball hit to her in the top of the 3rd inning. Senior 1 for 1, already has a home run on the day. Absolutely crushed a home run in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Her 2nd home run of the year, batting .444. Off-speed pitch taken for a strike, 0-1.
Rodriguez coming out with a strong statement there with a strike, showcasing she's not afraid of her after her big home run.
Another ball hit deep to center field. Williams underneath it at the track makes the catch, and that'll do it. So Lopez continues in the circle for Oklahoma. Williams stepping in. She was busy defensively last inning, caught a ball on the track. Today she's 0 for 1. Senior batting .436 so far on the season. In the leadoff role when she leads off an inning, .333.
Williams recorded 52 hits in 175 at-bats last season and had a 16 multi-hit games, including 3 3-hit contest.
So Lopez increasing her strikeout rate, 52 on the season. She'll wind and deliver. Foul ball behind the Oklahoma dugout. It hits the awning just down the line. You know, Big League Dreams has done a really good job adding netting and awnings, help protect the fans, and I know that's a topic of conversation in baseball and softball, protecting the fans, and it's kind of tough because you hear both sides of it. A lot of fans say it obstructs their views, but I think the protection of fans is the most important thing.
Yeah, most definitely. And this ballpark, actually, I heard, put up all new netting this past year.
I was actually doing a baseball game last year, and there was just a small hole in the netting. A little bit scary. A foul ball back to the backstop, got through, almost hit a fan.
Wow, that'd be a powerful ball.
Williams fouls it off down the line. Another souvenir for a fan. I see one fan running over there looking to grab it, get a nice souvenir, maybe get an autograph or two. Crowd is filled in, still early, only 9:50 local time, but we already have probably about 1,500 people in the crowd. Rise ball, Williams lays off of it. As a hitter, that is a tough ball to lay off of. You always hear that thing. I remember in League of Their Own, you know, I like the high ones. So 3-2 is the count. Williams working back into this at bat, working the count full. Foul ball, and I think that's going to travel right behind the screen. Lands on that netting. And we'll do it again. Still 3-2. Nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. Oklahoma leading 3-0.
Oklahoma going to take a quick meeting in the circle.
So Elam and Lopez meet. They're on the same page now. Lopez gets her grip, brings it to her glove, and the pitch. Strike 3 called.
Fullerton just not able to find an answer yet against Fullerton. And here's another look at that strikeout.
I think she was expecting the rise ball, and that ball
Straight down the middle.
So if you take a look at the visor for Lopez, she has some writing to the right of the OU logo. Not quite sure what that is. We'll have to find out. Hill, the third baseman, steps in. A little bit inside for a ball, 1-0. Hill so far today, 0 for 1, batting .250 early on in the season. Does have a home run and 2 doubles. Good hitter to have in that 3 spot. Lopez into the wind and the pitch. There's that rise ball fouled back. So she was right on top of that, was Hill. Got a good swing on that, just got fouled back to the screen.
Hill's coming off quite an impressive freshman campaign. She led the team with a .356 average, collecting 53 hits and 149 at-bats.
Only a sophomore, bright future ahead for her. Good off-speed pitch for a strike. So Lopez changing speeds, and Hill was completely fooled on that changeup. So she finds herself in a hole, 1-2. Lopez takes a look at her wrist, gets the sign, and the 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Good block by Elam. Nobody on base, but still a really good job keeping it in front of her. Excellent catcher. Lopez into her wind, and the pitch, rise ball, fouled off. You know, we talk about all the underclassmen. Oklahoma, a little bit more experience, 4 seniors in the lineup. Elam, of course, is a sophomore, and she already has a hit on the day to go along with an impressive defensive show. hit hard down the line and foul. Almost a good catch by a fan.
If he had a glove, I think he would have had that.
I agree. Protecting some of the people around him. Very aggressive. And fan has a souvenir. She might bring it back.
I think that might be a travel club team serving as ball shakers. If not, those kids have collected a lot of balls.
You talk about a good event to go to for a travel ball team, to see just how hard these Division I players work, some of the drills they do, how they prepare for a game, their pregame ritual.
Yeah, I actually talked to a team yesterday that traveled all the way from Orange County. They woke up at 5 in the morning to get here.
So that's the first hit of the game for the Fullerton Titans. Hill knocks a very solid single into left field, and she just had that rise ball time and finally got a hold of one. So Lopez has gone to that rise ball over and over again, and finally the Titans are able to time it. Going to have a pinch runner for Hill. We'll get you that name in a second. Coming up to bat for the Titans is going to be Rodriguez, who was on the mound a second ago, and now she finds herself in the batter's box trying to help her own cause. Comes in batting .217. Takes a strike, 0-1.
Fullerton bringing in Kelsey Whitmore, pinch hitter, runner. She's from Temecula.
So a lot of California players.
Yeah, and Whitmore knows that this is her job for the Titans. She appeared in 49 games last season as a pinch runner and scored 5 runs on the season and had 8 stolen bases.
That's a strike. So Rodriguez finds herself in a hole, 0-2. If you look at the roster for Cal State Fullerton, only one player from out of state, from Washington.
And you have to think too, with that being said, all these California players, they must be so familiar with one another coming from.
Elam tries to throw behind the runner. Ball goes into right field. Good job backing up by Allo.
And Whitmore looking like that one hurt a little bit. She seems to be okay.
I always like to see catchers being aggressive, and we've seen a number of them. Every single day I mentioned the BYU catcher, Sugg. I saw her throw behind runners all the way to second base. Dangerous throw, but very brave. 1-2.
Yeah, you brought up the Titans roster, and just with all the girls being from California, it must be pretty fun with them being so familiar with one another, knowing of each other at different high schools and travel club teams.
You see that at San Diego State as well. Not a lot of players from out of state. Foul back. Still 2-2 is the count, 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. And you look, a lot of the players are from Southern California. I'm looking, I see Stockton from up north, but not a lot of players from up north. Got a couple that are pretty close here. Moreno Valley, I see, outside. So Rodriguez works the count full. And of course, she's on the mound as well as at the plate. So trying to help her own cause, get Fullerton back in this game. Lopez has been cruising, only giving up the 1 hit to Hill. Fouled back.
Titans really looking to take advantage here, especially if they can get a free trip to first, advancing their runner on first to second to be in scoring position. This is exactly what they're going to need to get back into this ball game.
So I like this timing mechanism here. Fake like you're going to bunt, bring it back. That's going to hit, that's going to split the gap into right center field. Over for a stand-up double is Rodriguez. Running all the way home is Whitmore. I think she might have run through the sign and scored. And Fullerton is on the board. It's 3-1 Oklahoma over Cal State Fullerton.
The Fullerton fans and dugouts brought back to life now with getting on the board to avoid the shutout.
So Whitmore was going all the way, scores on that double from Janelle Rodriguez, and so she does help her cause as a pitcher. Look at her go, scoring all the way from first on the double. Good base running right there, and there's a reason she came in as a pinch runner.
Yep, she has wheels for Fullerton, that is for sure. She did a great job.
Ciofele will step in, the left fielder for Fullerton takes a strike, 0-1. So still a runner on scoring position, only one out here in the top of the fourth. 3-1 is your score. Fullerton cutting into that lead. Just excellent experience for the Titans to face one of the better pitchers in the Big 12, if not the nation. Grounder to the shortstop. She'll check the runner, throw across the diamond. So Lyons is able to hold Rodriguez at second before she throws across the diamond to Knighton, and we got 2 down.
And here's another look. Ball with a huge bounce from the ground.
So we can't mention, or we cannot talk about the grounds crew enough here. The grounds crew doing such an excellent job helping all these fields recover from the rain on Thursday. And welcome back to the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. We've had a pitching change. Number 45, Giselle Juarez, is going to step in, relieving Mariah Lopez, who was getting roughed up in this inning, but was cruising before that. 6 strikeouts. So Juarez starts out the Titans hitter. That's Richard with 2 strikes, 0-2. And Richard on the season is batting 148. Left-hander set. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and that'll do it for the inning. So Juarez does a good job killing the rally for the Titans, but they get their first run of the day. They're trailing Oklahoma by 2 here at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic, presented by Roland. Janelle Rodriguez will continue on the mound. It's her second inning of work. At bat is Mendez, the center fielder for Oklahoma. She lines a single into right field. Almost a play over there at first base. Sablon being very aggressive as a right fielder, launching the ball over to Munoz, but not in time to get the speedy Mendez. And Oklahoma leads off the inning, getting the leadoff runner on. Still nobody out.
Here's another look at Mendez. A great ground ball out to left field. Plenty of time to get to first.
I like the aggressive defensive play by Sablon. Not nearly in time, but still, you got to admire the aggressiveness by the Titan defense. And Allo is going to step in for Oklahoma, playing right field for the Sooners.
Allo, a native from Hawaii.
Your pronunciation was perfect on that.
I used to train there I was out there for 2 summers training in sand volleyball, so I love Hawaii.
So far, Allo is 0 for 1. She's a sophomore, batting .415. Now, can you pronounce the town that she's at?
That would be a good test.
I've been told just pronunciate every vowel.
Haula.
Popped up. Looks like it's going to stay in play. Running over, just trapping the ball, is Ciofele. Almost was a play. Good effort. She covered a lot of ground and made that play a lot closer than at first I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and Allo is really good inside the box. Last year, she hit 30 home runs in 2018 to tie Oklahoma's single season record.
Ball hit to Hill. Hill over to second baseman. Nobody's there in time. Right fielder comes up throwing. It gets past the third baseman into the crowd, and that'll score a run. It looks like everybody's going to advance. Allo will find herself at third base. Hill tried to turn two, threw the ball over. Neal wasn't over there just yet. Let's take a look at that again. Threw to the bag a little bit to the left of it. Neal couldn't come up with it.
Magnus does a great job reading what's happening out in the outfield, knowing to just keep running too. Takes a lot of smart, to be base smart when it comes down to that.
So Oklahoma is in business. They extend their lead 4-1 here in the bottom of the fourth inning, and they have a runner at third with nobody out. And there is a conversation going on with the Oklahoma coach and the third base umpire. Not entirely sure what that's going to be about. Alo is going to remain at third. I think there might have been a discussion in terms of where should she end up. I think Oklahoma is advocating that she should have been allowed to score, but I think it was pretty clear that she was advancing from second to third and awarded third base. So it looks like number 15 is going to come up. That's Flores to pinch hit. So Flores is a sophomore, again, part of that good underclass, number of underclassmen for Oklahoma there in the program, and another talented one. Takes a rise ball for a ball.
Yeah, another player who stepped right in for Oklahoma. Her freshman season, she was named to the 2018 All Big 12 freshman team, and as a freshman, she played in 40 games with 5 starts.
She has 3 doubles on the season. Takes a strike, so 1-1. 3 RBIs, and with nobody out in the inning. And Alo over there at third. Good opportunity to add to that total. Outside pitch, just missed the outside corner. 2-1 will be the count. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. We've got ourselves a good game between the Titans and the Sooners thus far.
Yeah, crucial pass inning for Fullerton.
Look out. Line drive towards our cameramen yet again. Some of the bravest people out there. Over there, first base and third base. Look at that. Woo.
Very close call.
I don't know if we have that video we could queue up later in the game, but that UCLA game, one of our camera got hit.
And he is good.
So Flores still up there. It's a 2-2 count. Off-speed pitch whacked to the right side, but foul.
And Oklahoma is going to do everything they can to keep that ball flying right to bring home their teammate.
Flores, of course, wearing the most eye black. She has the cross right there on both of her cheeks. Rodriguez into her wind and the pitch. Off-speed pitch, fooled Flores, strikes her out. So for Rodriguez, that's her first strikeout of the day, 4th, actually 5th on the season. And look at that pitch, drop ball, and Flores didn't stand a chance. So she had the timing down, it looked like, on the rise ball, but that drop ball, very effective. Ball hit to the shortstop. Kennedy across the diamond. Munoz digs it out, and we got 2 down.
Oklahoma now with 2 outs and still a runner on third, so close to home. We're going to need a player to come up big here.
So Clifton, part of the 3 seniors, the number 1, 2, and 3 batters for the Oklahoma Sooners so far today, 1 for 2. She has a double so far today. .542 on base percentage for the leadoff hitter. Takes low for a ball. That was that drop ball again. She's a captain for the Sooners. And that statistic is one you see on your screen. 54 times she's been hit by a pitch.
That's not a stat I would like to have.
Not at all. Takes an off-speed pitch for a strike, so 1-1.
So you talk about having a captain, a senior, and leadership. I call that stat taking one for the team.
You know, it's warmed up a little bit, so not to say it would feel a little bit better, but I think it would. Hard hit ball into left field, and I think she got it. 2-run home run for Clifton, and Oklahoma extends their lead to 6-1.
A huge hit by Clifton, coming up big. We were saying someone from Oklahoma is going to have to step up with 2 outs and a runner on third. Clifton does exactly that, knocking the home run to bring up their score. It's 6-1.
She had the timing down. Rodriguez had gone to that off-speed pitch a couple times, and boom, she got all of that. You look at the Oklahoma fans out there, the number 17. I don't think he plays for the team, but he just admired
Definitely not an outfielder.
Yeah. Went about 10 feet beyond him, so I'm going to take a guess. That was about a 245-foot shot. And that'll bring up Romero, who's gone deep in this Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. Romero today is 0 for 2, batting .378. Romero also, like I mentioned, has a lot of pop in her bat. 4 home runs on the season thus far. A little bit low for a ball. So a lot of talent in that family. If you look at the Oregon game, Oregon leading UCSB 5-0. And her sister is there, a coach for the Oregon Ducks. A little bit low for a ball.
And just recently, the sisters announced here on Flo's softball that they're going to be playing for Mexico.
So that's really cool to see, to be able to play for that national team with your sister.
It would be an unbelievable experience. It's one thing to make a team, it's one thing to get playing time, and then to be able to do it with your sister, their parents must be very proud. And Oklahoma's going to earn a trip.
So Romero draws the walk, first time on base for her. And that'll bring up a View, who's 1 for 2 today. She doubled in the first inning. She was left on second base, flied out to the center fielder Williams. Hit the ball really hard there in the third inning. Grounder over to Neal, and that'll do it for the inning. But Oklahoma extends their lead 6-1, the number 4 team in the nation, leading the Fullerton Titans by 5. Is you get through security in maybe 5 minutes.
Oh, it's such a breeze.
Yeah.
The whole process there.
And if anybody has been to LAX, you know that is a dream scenario, but between the traffic there and the security, you can't leave early enough to get there. So Juarez steps in again in her second inning of work. Rise ball's been very effective. Strike 2 on Sablon, the right fielder. I had mentioned before, defensively she's been busy. I liked her aggression in the last inning, trying to throw to first on the single to get the runner. Swung on and missed right there, strike 3.
Now Fullerton's really going to have to get busy here. Top of the 5th. And down 1-6. Here's another look at that strikeout. Fullerton just trying to put everything into it they can, but can't get a read yet on Juarez.
So stepping in is Kennedy, the shortstop. So far today, she's 0 for 1, batting .214 on the season. She struck out earlier in the game in the third inning. A little bit high for a ball, 1-0. You know, you mentioned airports in the area. We have a lot of selections. We also have Ontario, about an hour away. But a lot of flights come out of LAX. There's a strike, 1-1. And if you're going to more of a distant location, you have to fly out of LAX. And a lot of people in the Southern California, 3 of the dirtiest words, LAX. And not only that, you have to go on the 405, which are 3 of the most dreaded numbers also in Southern California.
Always a lot of traffic.
So the Titans trailing by 5 here in the top of the 5th inning. Parrish, who's in there, Kiana Parrish, she's batting .333 on the season. She's pinch hitting.
What an opportunity for these young athletes to go up against such talent from Oklahoma. Juarez in the circle, a very big player for Oklahoma and a veteran player who's played against, of course, the top teams in the nation and some of the top players as well, herself being included in that.
So Julia Valenzuela, the catcher, will step in again for, it looks like we're going to have another pinch hitter for the Fullerton Titans. That'll be Villegas, who's a freshman infielder. She's going to bat for the catcher, Valenzuela. Takes a ball outside, 1-0. So in the game thus far, Juarez, just in 1 inning of work, already has 3 strikeouts. So very effective out of the bullpen. Foul ball up there on top of the restaurant again. I'll even the count, 1-1.
Yeah, Villegas, just a sophomore and California native. She said that she chose Fullerton because it's her dream school. It's pretty cool to see your dreams come true. Nothing like starting off the season going against a team like Oklahoma.
Off-speed pitch for a strike, 1-2. Fullerton hosts a tournament, the Judy Garman tournament, also broadcast on Flow Softball. We thank everybody at home for watching the tournament here on Flow Softball. Let friends know about Flow Softball. A lot of entertaining games. And there's the 4th strikeout for Juarez. But getting back to my point, a lot of entertaining softball if you're a fan, not only in these early season tournaments, but also throughout the summer, some of these travel tournaments as well. Rise ball so effective for Juarez. And the Titan Washington Huskies, they're ranked number 5 in the nation.
Yeah, and this is just a freshman now in the circle. She's a 4-year letter winner at Bonita Vista High School and a 3-time All-League first-team selection.
Marinakis. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. She's facing Skelly, who's a pinch hitter for the Sooners. High with the rise ball, 2-0. And Skelly is a freshman, another part of that very talented freshman class. She's been at bat twice this season, so far without a hit. Off-speed pitch for a strike, 2-1.
And Marinakis had an interesting high school career. She came out very strong, named MVP her freshman year, and then was named it again her senior year. They also captured a league championship with her.
Skelly is from Oklahoma, Lone Grove, Oklahoma. She went to Lone Grove High School. So her 3rd at bat on the year. Takes high, and she's drawn a walk. So that'll bring it to a .333 on base percentage for Skelly.
Yeah, Marinakis struggling there with finding the niche for that high ball, not able to get to come back down low enough.
And Knighton, who's homered earlier in the game, flied out deep to center field in the 3rd inning. She's from Buena Park, California, which is down the road. Kind of known for Knott's Berry Farm. If you're local, one of the theme parks that is very popular, but a lot of people from out of town don't know about it.
It's a place to go if you want shorter lines in Disneyland.
Except when you go for during Halloween and they have one of those nighttime.
Oh, the scare zones
Yeah.
and haunted houses.
not scary farm is how they phrase it. And yeah, you go through those mazes and people jump out at you.
Oh yeah, I went this past Halloween.
Uh,
Not a sight you want to see.
That's down the line. It's going to drop fair for extra bases. Knighton's going to get to second base standing up. Can't hit the cutoff man is Sablon. Ball goes to Neal, goes past her just a little bit. So Oklahoma extends their lead 7-1. Still nobody out in the innings. Knighton now 2 for 3, and she's seeing the ball well.
Yeah, Knighton finding a great gap down the right field line, able to bring her teammate home. Oklahoma really taking a jump here on the scoreboard.
You know, in program history, Oklahoma has 4 national championships and 12 Women's College World Series appearances.
Yeah, Oklahoma is actually just one of 3 programs in NCAA history to win more than 2 national titles.
Marinakis is a little high on that one, so her ERA jumps to 5.25. Again, she's only thrown 2 2/3 innings, but this is good experience for the young pitcher. Fullerton has a number of pitchers listed on their roster. Foul tip. Mendez is in the box so far today. She's 1 for 2. She had a single in the 4th inning. So Marinakis probably later on in the season will come in relief. Grounded right back to Marinakis, throws over to first to Munoz. Runner advances. LaValle is in to run for Knighton, and she finds herself at third base with just 1 out.
Marinakis showing great offense in the circle, able to contribute and getting that out.
So early in the season, statistics again misleading. Her ERA goes from 5.25 to 4.67 in just 1 at bat, 1 batter.
It shows how crucial things can be in the beginning of the season.
So Marinakis has given up a double and a home run. She's also struck out 1 batter. One of the things I always look at is strikeout to walk ratio, and she's certainly on the other side of it. 1 strikeout, but 4 walks.
And now Oklahoma once again in scoring position.
Leading 7-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runner on third, only 1 out, and they're going to send another batter up, the left fielder Schultz. So far today, she doesn't have an at-bat. Number 7, Schultz. She's a sophomore out of Los Alamitos, so I would assume she has a lot of family members here.
Yeah, again, one of the unique things with this classic is there's so many California natives, and I think that has a lot to attribute to how many fans we have in the crowd, because so many families are able to come travel to this tournament.
Outside for a ball. So 1-2 is the count. We thank everybody at home for watching on Flow Softball. I also thank our crew, the best in the business. Good pitch by Marinakis. Fools Schultz with the off-speed pitch. That's an excellent pitch. I'd like to see her go back to that again.
Yeah, Marinakis should continue to switch it up like that. Here's a look at the strike one more time. Now Fullerton just 1 out away from getting out of the situation.
Colzow is going to step in. She came in for Elam. She's catching. She came in the last inning. That's a strike, 0-1. Yet another freshman. He's only had 3 at-bats, so 0 ERA or a 0 average. And you know, I mentioned before that's hit hard into left field. If it stays fair, it's gone, and it's just foul. So her first hit was almost a home run. That would have been her first home run as a Sooner. And she almost wrapped it around the left field pole. Let's take a look at that. Just missed by...
Just a few feet.
Yeah, that is close.
And what a statement that would have been for the freshman.
That's hit down the right field line towards the... Oh, that actually hit a fan over there by the playground. Hopefully he's all right. Yeah, well, we'll have to check on him. Hopefully he's doing all right, but kind of got him on the back. High on the rise ball, 1-2. So again, I mentioned before the misleading statistics. So 2 batters ago, Marinakis had a 5.25 ERA, but 2 batters later, it's down to a 4.20 ERA. Ground ball into the hole. That's going to be a tough play for the shortstop, Kennedy. It goes off her glove. A run will score, and that'll extend the lead to 8-1 for the number 4 Oklahoma Sooners.
A great job by the freshman. Talk about freshman teamwork there. Freshman on third and a freshman at bat. Able to bring each other home. Exciting stuff for Patty Gasso to see for the Oklahoma program.
We'll see, I think, yeah, we're going to have another pinch hitter. This one, Kylie Lundberg, who's a senior out of Lakewood, California. Went to Lakewood High School. She's a left-handed hitter. Kylie Lundberg, 6 foot tall. Just outside for a ball. So 8-1 is your score here in the bottom of the 5th inning. There's 2 outs, runner on first base for the Sooners. Marinakis with a pitch off speed for a ball. On the season, Lundberg is batting .250, 2 hits and 8 at-bats. She's got a .333 average with runners on base. Takes inside and low for a ball. So 3-0 is the count. You know, I'm looking around the crowd. We mentioned before, I see a lot of travel softball players. Saw the Corona Angels earlier. High on the rise ball, and she walked her. So Lundberg on first. And we don't have a pinch hitter this time. There have been a lot of pinch hitters. Clifton will come in. Clifton, it's been hot in the second. She had a double and 2 RBIs, and then she homered in the 4th and got another 2 RBIs. So 4 RBIs on the day. Half the runs for Oklahoma have been driven in by Clifton. The senior is 2 for 3, upping her average to .405.
And a meeting was just held in the circle with Marinakis. The freshman going to have some work to do here. 2 on base now in scoring position.
Gets a strike call. Good pitch right there on the corner, 0-1. Clifton batting .571 with 2 outs. Takes low for a ball. Marinakis has, so far in the season, 3 1/3 innings pitched. She's given up 3 earned runs. Comes set and delivers. Hard hit towards Oklahoma head coach. Just dives out of the way.
She's smiling about it.
So I see back in the distance the gentleman that was hit by that fly ball. He's up, and we're glad to see that. So Marinakis winds and delivers, fouled back. So 1-2 is the count to Kaylee Clifton, who's playing second base for the Oklahoma Sooners.
Marinakis going to be looking for that easy pop-up or a ground ball for her team to be able to defend here. just one out away from getting out of this jam.
That's going to be a single right up the middle. It's going to get past the center fielder, Williams. Around to second, standing up is Clifton. Another run will come across. And Clifton has herself 2 more RBIs. That's 6 RBIs, and that'll end the game right there.
Oklahoma just came out firing this morning, not letting up at all on Fullerton. Fullerton really struggling to find an answer. A lot of changes in the circle.